Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Tim, here with 8-Bit Chicken, and today we're going to do a Homebrew Wednesday, so let's get it on! It has been forever and a day since I've done an actual Homebrew Wednesday or taste test, probably because I really haven't been brewing too much. I was going to do one a few weeks ago, but I've decided to turn my Saison / farmhouse ale, whatever you want to call it, to a grain to glass. Literally, I have some of my own personal grain in there. That video will be coming out shortly. I just kegged that beer today. Saison sick time. We all know how that goes. So, let's get into it. Some of you have mentioned I did a coconut IPA video a long time ago. Maybe 9-10 months ago. That beer had got infected, so I tried it again. Now, for some reason, in my dumb head, I had thought I had over-hopped it, like that's a possible thing, and that Galaxy and Mosaic were competing, and that was not the case whatsoever. It just had gotten an infection. So I went ahead and did it again, and only put 3 ounce. Now I put 4 ounces of hops in here, and not too happy with this beer, but I'm gonna let you know how it is. And I had to bottle this one because my CO2 tank emptied out on me. Poof! That's always a good sign. We got a real good carbonated one here. They've been carbonating for about 3 weeks. Just put them in the fridge not that long ago. Maybe I'll get ahead of these. Like I said, I'm not. These are kind of wonky. Okay, you're getting the carbonation later on. I used honey to carbonate this. I don't really bottle beers that often whatsoever, so I'm not really used to it. So that could be. There's a nice light head in there. It's got a nice lacing. I'll cut over some clips here shortly after the review and show you some more details, or maybe we'll come in between. But yeah, it's got a nice golden amber color, pretty standard for a pale ale or an IPA smell. A lot of fruit up front. A lot of coconut. Let's go for it. I've had this beer quite a few times. I'm just going to give you the lowdown of the beer. A lot of coconut, lighter body. You can taste the fruity hops in the back end. It's not quite as harsh as I wanted. There's none of that harsh hopness initially in the front, but it's a solid coconut ale. Now, is it a coconut IPA? No. Is it what I wanted it to be? No. Is it a good beer? Yeah, it's not bad. Too much coconut for me, and I think if I had more hops in here, it would really do the trick for it, but it's not really. It's alright, you know. I've probably drank 12 or 13 of them in the past 2 weeks, probably. So, they'll get through. You know, they're not bad. I think it ended up at like 4 or 5, something like that. Nice body. Lower end, I think this was Maris Otter 2-row. Caramel 40. Cascade Galaxy. And then I believe I used the Mangrove Jack West Coast IPA yeast on this. So that's that. It's okay. It's fruity. I'm hoping the coconut dies out over time. The coconut is a little overwhelming, but like I said, if it was an IPA, I think it would have been fine. I used 1 pound of toasted coconut. I went ahead and toasted it in before I added it in secondary, just like everyone had suggested. Will I do this beer again? I don't know. I've kind of had 2 fails on it. Maybe it's not meant to be. Maybe I'm not meant to brew with coconut. I have another really good IPA recipe, anyways, that I really want to fine tune with Simcoe. So that's that. What else is going on? I have been working on a cider. I had been given 4 gallons of organic cider. And I was having a lot of trouble with getting it to start to ferment. It wasn't fermenting, and it wasn't fermenting. It's off the top of my head right now. I can't remember who it was that had suggested that I do this. God, I should know. But hopefully you'll see this video, and I'm going to say thank you, and I'll put your name and your channel in the description before I upload this video. I'll definitely figure out who it is. The name and the channel. The person who suggested this actually works at a cider house. They had suggested do a small starter, and then when that starts going in a day or two, then dump that in. The cider ended up at 15 bricks. I was really going for knockout cider, like something crazy strong. I made just about 2 hours ago. I went ahead and put half a teaspoon of yeast starter and another packet of yeast in a 1 gallon jug, and then had poured the cider in on top of it, and it seems to already be going. It's doing really well. Be right back. I'll go grab that so you can see it. It's kind of all the way up here. You should be able to see the bubbles. The yeast is all floating nice. It's doing really, really well. Like I said, this is only about 2 hours in, so hopefully by the morning I'll have a really, really rapid fermentation. I have this sitting in a large bowl, and a heat mat is under it to kind of warm it up, because it's probably about, I don't know, 70 degrees or so, 73. So I'm going to heat it up, and then I'm going to drop it back down. I also put a heat mat onto the other half of it, well, the other 3/4 of this, to kind of get that warming up as well. But this seems to be doing really well so far. We'll see in the morning. Hoping it goes crazy, so I can just dump it back in and get it going. It didn't say it had any potassium sorbate or anything in there, so there was no reason why it shouldn't ferment. So that's the whole reason I went with this. So that is something that's going on. I'm really trying to make a knockout beer, so we'll see. Leave names or ideas for a cider in the comments below, because I don't have any names for it. So please leave me some names below. I went ahead and named this. It is called Patsy. The coconut IPA is called Patsy, after Patsy from Monty Python the Holy Grail. The guy who claps the coconuts while they run, his name's Patsy. So this beer's named Patsy. I need a name for this. The farmhouse ale is A&B Farmhouse. Just because that's the farms I work for, and that's where I get a lot of the ingredients from. It's mine, so it's just kind of like a collaborative. So it's A&B Farmhouse Ale. Also, here's another beer. This is from a keg. I just brought it down a flight of stairs, so it's a little mixed up, as you see. It's not too clear. I'll have a review video on this in the future. This is one of the beers that I had brewed. It's a double Belgium from my brewer's apprenticeship over the summer. So I will give more details on this in the upcoming weeks, so make sure you stay tuned to that. Also this past weekend, I had brewed my Christmas ale, which is I call Wild Bumpus Brew. If you're familiar with the movie The Christmas Story, the Bumpus hounds run through, steal turkey, all that, Wild Bumpus Brew. So that's just a little bit of ginger, and I think it's like an ounce of ginger at the last 15, and then a stick of cinnamon in at the last 5. Mount Hood hops and Chinook hops, 5 pounds Maris Otter, 5 pounds 2-row, a pound and some change of Caramel 60. I ended up putting way too much black patent in, but it didn't seem to do anything wrong. So, and I put in way too much, which was 3/4 of a pound of black patent. So it's a little darker than I wanted, but when I tasted it, it tasted good. So that's it for brewing. Upcoming, I have all kinds of things I need to do. I'm getting ready to start doing the tiramisu stout. Some of you guys have seen, I've been talking about that. I have all the ingredients for that. I have all the ingredients for my Funky Monkey, which is a chocolate Dunkelweizen. And then I also have all the ingredients for a peach pilsner, also from peaches a friend of mine had raised. So I have beer ready to do it, but I'm just limited on time. I did not do a brew day for the Christmas sale, just because I was really limited on time and I had guests over and it was just hectic. So, but there will be a taste when that comes out. So, as always, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what I should name this cider. I have no idea. And cheers.